Let's start in child's pose. Just settle into our practice. Let anything go that's happened so far today. So my name is Laura Broggi, and today we're going to practice poses that will help alleviate menstruation symptoms. So this is a gentle Hatha class that will release endorphins to elevate your mood and calm the nervous system. So we'll increase the blood flow to the reproductive organs, as well as ease stress and encourage deep relaxation. So we'll just settle in for a few more breaths before we get started. So let your hips sit back gently. Arms stretch out in front of you. This is a wonderful release for the low back and the hips. Okay, let's slowly come up to hands and knees, and we'll do some cat-cows to loosen up the spine. So inhale, head up, tailbone up, and exhale, arch the back. So inhale, and then exhale, arch the back into cat. Inhale, lift the head and tailbone. Exhale, arch. Couple more. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Okay, let's come back to neutral. Let's come into a down dog. So really push your heels towards the floor. Maybe pedal out the feet. Raise your hips up to the sky. This is a nice stretch for the entire back of the body. Just be gentle with yourself. Okay, let's step to the front of the mat with your feet hips width apart and just dangle forward. So you might want to grab opposite elbows, or you can just let your hands drape towards the floor. And you can stay still or possibly rock side to side. This is a very calming pose to help relieve stress and relax the entire body, as well as a gentle hamstring stretch and low back stretch. Okay, let's put our hands down and reach back with the right leg, bringing the right knee down. And then we'll stretch into the front leg and stretch the back leg back as far as you can so you really get a nice hip flexor stretch. And just sink into this. So I'll hold these poses, most of them for about 5 breaths, so we can really get a chance to sink into them and gently allow our body to open up. Okay, let's put our hands down and switch legs. So we'll bring the left knee down, right leg forward, knee bent, and really sink down into the hips so you get that nice front of the hip stretch here. If it's more comfortable, you might want to have blocks to put your hands on, but if not, you can just rest your hands on your thigh. And from here, let's place our hands down and scooch that right foot over so your leg is semi-parallel with the front of the mat for pigeon. So that left leg will be stretched out behind you. Just make sure it's coming straight from your hip behind you and not off at an angle. And then lift up, inhale, and then exhale over that front right leg. Now, if this bothers your knee at all, you can lay on your back and do a figure 4. So don't push these poses, just ease into them. And breathe and relax. This should feel really good. You might feel some extra sensation, but you should never feel pain. All right, let's come up and then we'll switch sides. So we'll bring the left leg forward, right leg back. And inhale up and then exhale, fold over that left leg and feel that nice opening in the left hip. Okay, let's gently come out of this pose, and then we'll come onto our bellies. Let's have our hands wide, fingertips on the floor, and we're going to do some cobra waves. So inhale, lift, and then exhale, fold down. Just to open up the front of the chest, inhale, lift, exhale, down. Okay, inhale, and exhale down. Then go ahead and bring your arms to your sides, hands down. And from here, we're going to lift up into lotus. So lift up the chest, hands, feet. So this is nice for strengthening the back of the body, relieving stress. Might want to rock a little bit forward and back. And relax down. You can use your hands as a pillow to rest your forehead. Okay, let's come up for one more. So lift the chest, hands, feet, and try to keep your feet hip distance or closer to really engage the entire back body. And you can look down so you don't tweak your neck here. And gently release, using your hands as a pillow, resting your forehead. So next we're going to do bow pose, which is a little bit more intense. So if you'd like to repeat lotus, you can certainly do that. So go ahead and bend the knees if you're in bow, and then grab your ankles, or if you need a strap, go ahead and use that. And then lift up. So engage the back of the body, the hamstrings, the back. And this will massage the internal organs here, so you might want to rock a little bit forward and back. And then release. Okay, and we're going to do that one more time, so let's relax a little bit before we go there. Okay, let's try this one more time. So reach back for your ankles, flex your feet, and lift up. So this will be your last one here. So really engage and try to get up as high as you can. And then gently release. So rest your head. You might want to shake your hips side to side a little bit. And then slowly come up to a seated position. So we'll come into a nice twist here. So let's bend the right leg and put your foot flat on the floor outside your left leg. And you can keep your left leg straight or bent. Then inhale the left arm up and then hook your left elbow around your right knee. With your right hand on the floor behind you, lift your spine up and then exhale, twist. So with each breath, lift up a little bit, inhaling, and then exhaling, twist a little bit more. And this is a great release for the entire spine and also massage for the internal organs. So this will help with cramping and low back pain. Okay, let's switch sides. So we're going to put the left foot over the right knee and then keep that right leg straight or bent. And then we'll hook the right elbow outside of the left knee, left hand behind you on the ground, and lift, inhale, and then exhale, twist. And then gently, let's come back to center, counter twist. And then we will come into a bound angle. So feet together, knees wide. And inhale, flat back, and then exhale, fold. And then let your head and neck relax here. If this is uncomfortable, you can sit on a blanket or even a block. But don't force here, so just gently lean forward. This is a nice inner groin and low back stretch. And then gently come up. And then let's spread our legs out wide with our feet flexed. So we can sit up here and then exhale, lean forward. So we're getting more of the hamstring here, so the back of the thigh, more low back stretch here. Just remember not to force, just ease into these poses. But you want to keep your feet active here, so flex your feet, which will really engage the hamstrings. And then gently come up. And let's bring our legs together and come onto our backs. So we'll have our feet close to our hips, hip width apart, for a few more back bends. So we'll come into bridge. So lift your hips up, clasp your hands underneath you, arms straight, and push up. Now, if you prefer a more gentle back bend, you can come into supported bridge. So you would have a block underneath your sacrum here with your legs bent or straight. But if you're in a regular bridge, go ahead and lift those hips up to the sky. And then gently bring your hips down. Have your feet wide as the mat and drop your knees in together to release the low back. Okay, let's do that 2 more times. So let's bring our feet back to hip width. If you're supported, you can go ahead and stay there. So really lift your hips up, chest up. Engage the thighs here. This is an excellent pose to relax the central nervous system and also increases blood circulation. And gently release your hips. Bring your feet wide again and bring your knees together. Just relax before our last back bend. And one more time, let's bring our feet hip width. Clasp your hands underneath you. Push your hips up, chest up. Keep your knees hip width, so make sure they don't splay out. Head and neck relaxed on the floor. And then gently ease your hips down to the floor. And bring your knees in together one more time. Relax the low back. And from here, let's come into reclined bound angle. So just like we did earlier, your feet together, knees wide. Just gently let them drop out. If this is uncomfortable, you can put a couple blocks, one under each knee. Then your arms out relaxed. Just a little more gentle hip and inner groin opening. This is also good for soothing cramping and low back pain. We'll hold this one for a little bit longer just to really ease into it. Okay, let's slowly bring our knees together. Bring your knees into the chest. We'll do one final twist here. So let's drop the knees over to the left side. Right arm out to the right and your face turning towards the right arm. And you can hold your knees or have your left hand down, whatever's comfortable. Just try to push your right side of your hip down to really lengthen the side body and enjoy this nice gentle twist. And then slowly bring your knees up, and then we'll switch to the other side. So the knees over to the right side, left arm out, chest up, facing up or towards the left with your face. And feel that back, low back opening up. And then let's bring our knees into center. Let's give you a little squeeze before we go into happy baby. So let's grab the outside of our feet, knees bent, and gently pull your knees toward the floor. And you can stay still, or if you'd prefer, rock side to side. Give yourself a little spinal massage. Just one last hip opener here. And then let's bring our knees into our chest, keeping your neck and head relaxed. Just the last stretch before we come into Shavasana. Just one last low back release here. And then gently release your legs down. Have your feet wide, hands, arms out in your most comfortable position. There's nothing left to do. Just observe how you feel. Hopefully this has relieved some of your discomfort. Thank you for joining me today. Namaste.